Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to our demo session. So we just had our hackathon completed recently, just a week ago. It was very good to have a lot of good projects doing work on Neo, getting to know our developer tools. Some of the developers who are familiar with Neo before, but also a lot of new faces, which is always nice, of course. So this week we'll have a series of demos. Every day we'll have a number of projects, 2 to 3 projects. By the way, time for each project is around 15 minutes, and then we'll have 5 minutes for Q&A. If there are any questions from the audience. The goal of these sessions is to let our community to know our projects. And of course, after these sessions, you can talk to each other. If you want to maybe join the team, you can join the team or support or just follow the project on Twitter or on other social networks. All right, so I think we'll start with the Tantalis. Edward, please start.
Okay, so you unmuted me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so, okay, I can share the screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so I'll share a screen and then let's talk about our project. So first, I will just want to introduce. So we are like Team 11. This is a European, Latvia-based IT company. We are like around 20 people. So for hackathon, we were almost 5 people team that was joining for this hackathon. So we work with on fintech platform that's a little bit related to blockchain and also fiat fintech. So be kind of familiar with the blockchain itself, but of course Neo 3 is something new. We have worked previously with Neo too on some things, but yeah. So let's switch to our project. So this project came before this hackathon. We did not plan about this project, and so this idea came after we decided, okay, let's join a Neo hackathon and build new stuff on top of it. So yeah, and our idea was to build an NFT platform that's additionally so NFT and data marketplace. That would be the official like naming. Maybe I will just go through list of things what is planned for the platform. So a little disclaimer. So since this is a hackathon project, so it's still not finished. So there's a lot of things that still is required to be finished in this application. But I will show some things that's currently working, and I will try to explain what's the planned future for this project. Okay, let's switch to project. Sorry, I need to switch tab. That's hard. My pop-up screen. Okay. So in short, let's talk about NFT. Our plan is to create very simple platform that end user who don't have technical knowledge of blockchain, that they can simply sign up somewhere, log in somewhere, and deploy their smart contract. So this is the platform that we came up. So there is three type of smart contracts planned here. So if we will go to like create, this will ask I'm already connected to my wallet. You see that wallet has been connected. I will disconnect wallet and show again how we can connect. So we connect wallet. It will open Neoline wallet. I hope you guys see it pop up in this screen sharing. I allow my wallet to be connected to system. So we see the current balance is already less than 500. So this has been connected. So wallet has been connected. The idea is that in this simple way, user can connect to the application and deploy their NFTs. So this NFT comes in 3 categories. That's how we planned. So one thing is deploy full smart contract. That's specially designed for example, one company want to deploy their own NFT smart contract. And we wanted to make it so simple that users can do that. So when we go to create, it will ask, do we choose some existing smart contract? So maybe it's already previously deployed, or we can create new smart contract. If we choose to create new smart contract, it will ask for all the information, what we want in this smart contract to be. Later, I will show the smart contract template and a little bit more about this templating. And if we choose to meet new NFT on existing smart contract, so here you have a list of my wallet existing NFTs. So I can choose like the bidding. This is something for the future. We thought would be very nice, but as a demo, let's look at the simple pricing. So we would choose like price for this item. We can set up some fee. So like owners, like a art piece owners, they get some fee if somebody transfers this piece of art from one user to another user. So we set some pricing. We choose some picture, like that could be NFT. We add some naming. Of course, we add some code, like for example, that could be for NFTs, category and description. Currently, the system is not connected to the latest Neo 3 testnet, but I will show the idea how it should work. And at this moment, system invokes smart contract and deploys everything to blockchain. And after that, of course, there's possibility like to buy, click agree. So there's author fee, platform fee, checkout. When we do checkout, it gets transaction. We can interact with wallet, send the wallet. If we look at the blockchain explorer, so I need my address, testnet. YouTube, this was the blockchain explorer. Yes, this is the right one. And as we go, we see, okay, we send a transaction. We have 2 transactions. So one is for the owner, one is this platform fee. So there's 2 transactions here. So one is the main fee, and this is the platform fee, or something like that. Yeah. This would be how it looks from uploading, from buying part. That's very basic thing, I would say. So I think most NFT platforms that have that. But let's look at some other features that we have planned. I will open the description. So our idea was in this place where you create NFT, you can choose which collection. So collection is a smart contract. Our idea was that user, sorry guys, I'll switch to GitHub repo. There was some pictures I want to maybe show. That we want to make possibility to deploy smart contract from a template. So this would be something my colleague who works with .NET called this compiler as a service. So you look at the code. So there's a smart contract, and we have a smart contract template. So this is a smart contract, and there's these values. So these are the variables. And our idea was that we could have multiple NFT or even different smart contracts that you can choose on which of them you want to deploy. So so there was one drop down where we could choose that. So yeah, and that this system will allow smart contract deployment from a browser. So choose template, fill the information, and send it to blockchain. Pay your smart contract deployment fee, and that's it. And the system will take everything, all the technical part. So user don't need to think about templates, NFT standards, or some other stuff. They can choose from some existing NFT templates and deploy them. And after that, interact with these smart contracts on a platform. And next time you choose already predefined or previously added smart contract, and you can mint new NFT in there. So I said there's 3 types of smart contracts. So let's talk about those. One is so full smart contract deployment. So you own it, you pay the full gas. Currently, I think it's 500 gas. I don't know what will be the final price of Neo 3, but you pay the full price. Second thing, if you already have deployed previously smart contract, you can invoke it and like mint new NFT. So that would be the second option. And then there's a third option that we in our company was thinking about with colleagues, that we as a Tantalis platform, we could deploy smart contract a little bit different way, that we allow other users also deploy or mint new NFTs on this platform. So these are 3 type of NFTs that plan here. And also then there's additional thing that we thought that would be very nice, because Neo 3 comes with storage, that we could also in the same way create simple form where we can deploy data to blockchain and later sell it in the marketplace. That's why we came up with this name, NFT and Data Marketplace. So, but of course, hackathon for full project to be finished within hackathon time, this was not done, but this is something that we really thought and already started to experiment with, connecting to a file system. But yeah, that could be one of the future features as well. Yeah, so I showed that there's this values, so template for a smart contract that could be deployed. I showed example of the flow within this application. Yes. Maybe we can go to questions. This.
All right. Thank you, Edwards. It's very cool to learn that you also plan or can use NeoFS, our storage system. So that's a good use for maybe creating a marketplace for data.
Yeah.
And was also very interesting to learn that you give this option of 3 ways to deploy NFTs, right? If it's a professional developer, a software engineer who knows how to write, they can create their own contract and let other people make NFTs based on that. Or users can just use existing contracts. So that's very interesting idea. Okay, let's see if any questions in the chat. All right, so there is one question. So what is the difference between a user who has uploaded an NFT to the third smart contract hosted by Tantalis versus option 2 that was presumably created by another user?
Okay, good question. I'll try to explain. So, for example, Coca-Cola decided they will mint their own NFTs, so they will deploy their own NFT smart contract, and nobody else will be able to call that NFT and mint new NFT tokens. So that's would already be written inside smart contract that only administrator can deploy this NFT. In third case, our system, our engineers, we will come up with the NFT that has permissions to call mint function by, for example, paying some fee of gas. So we would create a universal, not universal, but public NFT smart contract that other people with their wallets can invoke. And yeah, that's the difference, that it's locked smart contract and there is a built-in functionality that other people can mint new NFT tokens. So one thing that already came from some other colleagues, like, okay, if this NFT is like open, very open to world that anyone can deploy, what can we do if somebody starts to spam this smart contract with some kind of very wrong category of pictures, like that's not supported for work, like, and yeah, so what to do in that case? So we think, okay, we could create NFT smart contract that can be involved by other people, but before these NFT are fully minted, it should go through like validation. Is this actual image that's actually deployed there we want on this platform? So in that moment, we could decide approve it or disapprove it. But after that, it would be deployed and nobody else can take it down anymore. But that would be like decision point at the uploading moment that we decide, is it a proper picture that we want in our platform? I hope I answered your question about this previously, about two type of contract.
Yes. Thank you, Dylan, for the question. It seems like it's a way for corporations or businesses to have an NFT smart contract that they can control, right? In this case, they can use it, but no third parties who shouldn't be able to use it, they will not be able to use it. So it's an interesting feature.
Yeah, so in that case, additional note, just sorry, this platform who decided to pay their own 500 gas, they could set up this fee for NFT minting. So since our goal was to use gas, use Neo blockchain token, that's gas. So don't create our own specific platform tokens and so on, just to use gas that's designed for this Neo. So that's why we could add, like, I don't know, 1 gas, 5 gas, 10 gas fee for deployment. So that would be one thing as a business module for platform. Yeah, that's the
okay. Thank you. Right. So we try to keep these demos kind of short. So this will be uploaded to YouTube, so other people will be able to watch. And Edwards, if you can join our Discord and just leave a message, say hi to everyone, then others can write to you, can add you, and talk to you.
Okay, so right. Which group do I need to say hi in?
I will invite you. Yeah, we have a Neo Discord channel.
So I'm in there already. So just,
oh yeah. So there is development and Frontier Launchpad or Dev General, either of those. Okay, I see you're typing already. Okay, great.
Yeah, I will introduce myself. So thank you, guys.
All right. Oh, by the way, in chat, I see a question. There is someone is asking how to see the page. So basically, all the hackathon projects are on DevPost, and if you search for a Neo hackathon there, you can see all the projects. And yeah, here's a link as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this is a development link, and we already bought the domain Tantails.io, and we will definitely move it there later. So currently, the best way to follow us, I think, is maybe LinkedIn on a company or just this website. We will update information. We will have like update. So.
Great, thanks. Thank you, Edwards. All right, so we move on to Robert Liu from another project related to decentralizing consulting.
Okay.
Yep, you're online.
Am I on?
Yep.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, cool. Can you see my screen? Or let's see.
Are you sharing your screen?
I'm trying to. Do you see it now?
Yep. It works now.
Okay. Can you see my face? I can't see my face, so yeah, I'm just wondering if you can see my face or not.
Yes, your video and yes, your screen both. Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, well, yeah, so yeah, thank you for having me. I'm very honored. It's 11 p.m. right now in China, and so yeah, it's I know it's also late for you over there, Dennis. It's late for both of us. But yeah, I'm very honored to be presenting my project here. And yeah, I think I'm different from from Edward and from Irshad and everyone else who's presenting, because I'm not really a developer before. I'm more of a business person. So yeah, so just to introduce my project, we are decentralized data research and consulting store. My background, I have more of a traditional business background. Before doing this project, I was a management consultant for about 5 years with some, fairly well-known consulting firms. One of them is known as IHS Markit, and then also LEK Consulting, and then also a boutique strategy firm, basically focused on the energy industry. And then before that, I was a CPA with a Big Four accounting firm. Anyways, and then and then I went to business school prior to that. I also want to introduce my teammate. So my teammate is also on this call. His name is Colin, and he's a developer at Shenzhou Zhuce, which is the parent company of Hertz China. And so he was working 996 hours. So I'm very happy that he can also join us. Okay, so basically, the reason that we decided to do this is because I think there's a lot of opportunity within the data and consulting industry. Basically, in the past few years, not just in data and consulting, but also just in the corporate world. I don't know if people noticed, but there's been a lot of centralization, right? When you talk about companies like Google and Microsoft, there's been a lot of centralization of data, and big tech has gotten very big and very powerful. So people like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates have become very powerful because they've controlled so much of the world's data, right? And so now there's talk about breaking up big tech firms. Also, media is very centralized. It's controlled by companies like CNN and NBC and so forth, right? And because of that, you see, corporate companies are afraid to kind of really speak out and kind of give information that companies are really really looking to that are really helpful to companies. So I say this because as someone who was an energy consultant, within China, I can tell you that companies would commonly come to us for certain questions, but because we kind of had this sort of narrative, it's all about narratives. We had to give certain narratives to companies, and so they weren't always too happy that we were giving them these narratives instead of the information that they were looking for. And so I think decentralization, right now, DeFi is really hot, right? Decentralized finance is really hot, but I think decentralization of this aspect of the business world is also something that's very powerful, right? So if you look at our About Us, right? So these are kind of like some of the most well-known consulting firms: Accenture, Bain, Amazon Web Services, which is Data, right? Booz, McKinsey, GLG. They all kind of had this business model, which kind of operates the same way, right? Because a lot of the really the business intelligence that like companies need to operate, it's not data that you can just kind of get off of the internet. It's not information in public domain. The way that you get this information is you kind of have to know the right people, right? You have to go through industry experts, people that have worked for certain organizations or certain companies that have experience or have inside connections, right? And so the way that these companies work, their business model is that they go through their networks, they go through their connections, they call people, and they get subject matter experts, right? Who they pay by the hour. They say, look, okay, I know that you know about radio frequency transmitters or big data or something, right? And they say, well, I'll pay you $250 an hour, and then you tell us everything you know, and I'll pay you $250 an hour. And so what these companies do is they interview these experts, and then or sometimes they'll pay them for data, and then they aggregate that information, and they interview a couple people, and then they put into a nice report, and then they charge it to the client at like 20 to 30 times what they paid you or I to get that information, right? And I know this because that's what so my background is basically, after I graduated from business school, I went to the second largest oil field in China, and I was helping a company, a former division of Sinopec, to do an IPO. And the company didn't end up IPOing in the US, they IPO'd in China, but I developed a network of like top level oil and gas people in China, right? All these people, they went to like the same university, and they were all like VPs at Sinopec. And so I leveraged that into a management consulting career, right? With like some pretty big name consulting firms. And it's not because I'm a great consultant. It's more just because I was in the right place at the right time, right? And so my attitude about consulting is like, it's not that people need to be like, because these firms, not everyone, can kind of, these firms, like the way they hire is, they get like, you have to go to like Harvard, or you have to be like, get like a 4.0 GPA, and not everyone can do that. But sometimes, the way the world is now, so many people jump between jobs, right? Or they jump between different companies. And so, if you're in the right place, the right time, or you have people like Dennis, you live in Shanghai. I mean, you're in the right place, the right time, people, and then, over time, you develop a network. You can be a consultant too, right? Because now you have the network, you have the capabilities. And so sometimes it's not about like being the smartest guy or being the best talker. It's just that you're in the right place at the right time. And so there's a whole plethora of people that can leverage that to be great consultants or great people who can give data. And so that's the point of this, of DDRC, okay? So that's the overview. So with the time left, I'm just gonna give a demo of how the site works. And so, by the way, I coded this, most of it by myself. My teammates, Colin, they're there for emotional support and also technical support, and I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's take a look at some general consulting requests, right? So let's say some companies are looking to hire people, right? What are some requests? Like in the tech industry, you're looking for engineers, you're looking for people with certain backgrounds. Let's go to my industry. So for energy, for example, right? Let's say that a European manufacturer is looking to move into the Chinese, electric vehicle battery industry, right? So they put out a request on our platform, right? And they say, okay, we want to hire someone who has a deep knowledge of the Chinese electric vehicle battery market, right? And specifically, we're looking for people with lithium-ion battery experience. Has worked in a lithium-ion factory before, right? And so they would use our platform to basically put out a request for that type of person who has had that experience before, right? And so if you are a person who has worked in a Chinese, lithium-ion battery factory before, then our platform could be used to connect you with this manufacturer. Now, there is obviously going to be some intricacy involved in this, right? Because the thing that we want to avoid here is that because it's decentralized, this is really the key, right? We do not want to take on the responsibility of kind of like how Bitcoin allows you to be your own bank. So we want to allow you to be your own consultant, right? So if there are like legal issues, or if there's like completion of duty issues, that should really be outsourced between the buyer and the seller, right? So we will hold the hand of the two parties to do the screening process, right? But ultimately, that is going to be the responsibility of the buyer and the seller, right? And so this is just a simplified walkthrough of what that process would look like, right? So if you feel you're qualified, you would converse with the buyer of your services, and this is just a simplified form, right? You would complete the form and then submit your offer, right? And then they would obviously go back and forth with you and then you would connect with them through this platform, right? So that's just kind of a simplified overview. Now, how does this pertain to the use of the Neo blockchain, right? So that takes place more on the consulting sales side, right? So if let's say that now you have people that are actually offering their services, right? So let's say you are you're selling your services, let's say within like the semiconductor industry. Okay, so these people are selling the services as technical experts, right? So this person, for example, he says he is a PhD and has worked for as an engineer for Intel and for Shanghai Manufacturing Incorporated, right? So he's offering himself as a semiconductor expert, and so this is a hot industry, right? And so if you are looking to say expand into the semiconductor industry within Asia, this person might be of interest to you, right? And so he has his LinkedIn profile, and so we would verify his profile, right? And so that is the responsibility that would be offloaded to DDR. Now, again, the key here is that we would walk you through the screening process, right? So you would screen him by kind of going through like verification questions, right? And then the DDR platform would go through an escrow process, right? And so here, the escrow process, you would connect the wallet. So this takes a little time. There were some issues when we kind of did the API, and I kind of figured this out on my own because my developer who was helping with this kind of got busy with some other things. So, and an issue is going to be that the price of gas is fluctuating a lot. So we do need to figure out a stable coin because, but so assuming that gas is 25 in the future, who knows what it will be, right? But that is something that does, but I did see another project called Lyrebird that is doing a stable coin. Okay, so the transaction is submitted. So let's say that problem gets addressed, and then you have the escrow, right? So there's a React function there, and then after that, escrow. So you deposit the escrow, right? And then there should be some React function here, and then so now you have this period, right, to consummate the transaction, right, with the seller. And once again, this responsibility to consummate the transaction is going to be your responsibility, right? And we will walk you through how to screen, how to do that, because it's very standard procedure, right? You need to ask them the questions in advance, and make sure you know what you're getting. And ultimately, again, I mean, you know, that's the point of decentralization, right? Bitcoin allows you to be your own bank, right? You're a big boy now. DDR allows you to be your own consultant. But again, you're a big boy, so you better make sure that you're doing things the right way. Okay, and then and I'll just give you one more quick example. I know I'm over time here, but you know, just how does a data transaction work? It's kind of the same thing, right? So if you're just looking to, let's say, by like a data request, sorry, I don't know why it's going so slow right now. Okay, so someone's selling a data set, right? So back to semiconductors, if you're trying to get data for, okay, you're trying to buy a data set, you know, you can put a data set preview here, right? This person is selling a data set, $2,500 for, you know, what are the break-even costs for, like, you know, 3 nanometer, 5 nanometer, 7 nanometer, the top manufacturers for, you know, cutting edge semiconductors. You know, it's the same process. It's an escrow process, and then you do the screen to make sure you know what you're getting, and then you go through the same process. So I'm not going to go through all that here. You can look at it on the website, and I'm just going to leave that here. If there's, I think I've gone over time, so if there's any questions, please feel free to ask. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Robert. That's very interesting to me, because actually I was in research and consulting for a little bit. And I definitely saw that need, because very often when you do research, it can be quite international. So let's say you need to do research on Singapore, Australia, Hong Kong, and very often just talking to one person from each of those geographies is enough. But because it's so decentralized and international, if you are a small firm, you are not going to open like bank accounts in all those countries, or you know, hire a big firm. So if there is a solution like yours, it will make it much easier, right? And if there is a market for buying and selling consulting and knowledge, that could be very useful for many people in business. All right, so
exactly. I mean, it's like, man, Dennis, I mean, it's like you might know something. You're from Russia. I mean, it's like, who knows what you know, right? I mean, we all know something. I was in an oil field. You know, I'm from California. I was in an oil field for a year. You know, everyone here knows something. Why do we have to go through like McKinsey? You know, why does only McKinsey know something and you have to pay them $100,000?
Yes.
It's like it's not right. They're not that smart, to be honest.
Exactly. If you talk directly to the right person, it's much faster and cheaper, and just more efficient.
Yeah.
So there is a question from Dylan, right? So basically, he's asking if this kind of project is still under the radar, or it's something that can be kind of a threat to these large companies like very soon. What are your thoughts on that? You can see the question in the chat as well.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm still kind of, I don't use Zoom that often, but because anyways, yeah. So I mean, so if you think about it, like the smartest people in the world, they go to work for these companies, and so they have no incentive to to want to like decentralize management consulting. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it's like a pyramid scheme, you know, and they like to keep it that way. It's like a monopoly. It's like a monopoly, right? Like Google, Amazon, like they have a monopoly and they like it.
Yeah, these companies are quite established. They have
Microsoft. They don't want you to kill their monopoly. So that's why.
So I had a quick question about the escrow. So basically, how do you guarantee that the person delivered the service, the consulting, at a good level that's good enough? Like basically, if you are a client and you are satisfied, you click a button, right? And then the person receives the money from escrow. But how do you resolve issues? Like if there is a client who is not happy?
Right. Okay, so this is where this is why screening is so important, Dennis. So I'll tell you how like LEK does it. So I've done this for LEK and other companies. Beforehand, they'll reach out to you and they'll say, okay, hey, I see that you're a subject matter expert on nuclear energy fusion reactors.
Mhm.
And, you know, I'll pay you $300 an hour to talk to me. And you say, okay. And you say, okay, well, can you fill out this questionnaire? So I need to know about this industry and this technology. Can you please respond to me about what you know about this and this and what your experience is in this and how do you see this, blah, blah, blah. Please send this back to me and then we'll set up a time to talk. So if you can't respond to these questions, I know that you don't know anything, right? And then on top of that, I'm gonna say, and I will pay you $300 an hour, but it's prorated.
Mhm.
Okay. So basically, if 10 minutes in the conversation, I know that you don't know what you're talking about, I'll say, oh, okay, well, thank you. You know, I think that's enough. And then I'll just pay you like 10 for 10 minutes, right? So instead of paying you 300, I only pay you like $50.
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it works.
Okay.
But the thing is, this can also be tied to a smart contract, right? So this is kind of why decentralization is kind of cool, because you can, in the future, that's why, you know, you can tie it to a smart contract. But I don't know how to do that yet, but yeah, in the future was something to think about.
Right. Well, thank you, Dan. I think we don't have any more questions right now.
Okay.
That's about time as well. So I think that's it for today. We will have more sessions like this on Tuesday, Wednesday, every day this week until Friday. So thank you, everyone, and let's continue the discussion on Discord. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thanks.